While a fellow said me my behalf autocorrect to Dorito and they were seconds off of inviting me a flat cake microchip in an electronic mail, I frankly didn't aware which to tell. Our names are a key portion of our sameness, so it can be extremely disappointing while who gets it incorrect at job. At low the event was superior rather than while human beings include mispronounced my behalf as filthy or misspelled it as Drudy, but not knowledge which to answer concerned me for days. How since receive a behalf incorrect makes for partly uncomfortable talk for all implicated. Do you speak them or do you let it slide show? Which if there who yet doesn't get it order following several months and several reformatories. Do you now requirement to changing yours behalf by act survey? I'm obviously not the just one who's cladding challenges. While grandmother Marfo treated in the civilian facility, he reluctantly became the object of an unofficial behalf changing. He told he already stood out as he has a tracheostomy and time several associate were capable to urge him by the order behalf, other named him Nando's. He tested to proper the misuse for 3 year. Yet one day a customers came to our division and begun inviting me Nando's. While I requested why he named me how, he told house how my fellow had declared my behalf on the original trip. At how spot I was for the spot of hard to proper human beings, and with later include been called Nando's, he says. Grandmother, thick, felt he had to let it go. I didn't sense the position was thing high control could proper. Emails are as well hazardous area. Nefra Germain utilized to job in the Enterprise planet. She told human beings would continuously get her at first behalf and name blended up in emails in spite the reality she would mark off in her taking into account behalf. It's love human beings' brains can trial a behalf how is extraordinary so they include to discover a way to normalize it and though proper thou, she says. So how should you transactions in these vocational mishaps? Bina Candela is an writer and industry counselor who's had his own equitable stake of mixture UPS. I was talked newly at a meeting in Las Vegas and the man who entered me named me Pina Colada. I got up and told, my behalf's Bina Candela. Pina Colada's my dad. I love to believe it done a spot to the guy who entered me. Occasionally humor is the top attitude. He suggests how the min who gets yours behalf incorrect, proper them direct off and as well get teammates to strengthen and supporting you while in meetings by proverb yours behalf properly every period it is mispronounced. He as well says how off mistakes should be apologized to, reformatories done and everyone should try to go on. Bay Shalit is the chief of human beings at Clever Power GB. While I enter myself I frequently get how's okay as a answer. They believe I've told how I'm disappointed. Normally it doesn't worry me too lot, but occasionally I speak the man, to assist declare it properly, my behalf rhymes in Coralin. With a known rhymed speech normally does the stunt. If who keeps receive yours behalf incorrect in the job, I would say to them on it. It's potential they refuge T implemented their error. And though grandmother didn't sense convenient making so, she adds how you could as well request yours officer or who of the HR crew to lift it unofficially in them on yours name. Montserrat Piedroinsaw's behalf may be overall in Catalonia but how hasn't stopped her of creature named several unique aberrations. This lowest sample of how mess was while a client in the US mind my behalf was Beast Rat. He yet telephone call me how out of though flashing. To several cause Japan human beings include no question in my behalf. I must recognize the funniest ones ever go of British speaking nationalities, particularly Americans and Brits. How's surely my expertise too much? Which's as well disappointing is it's frequently UK or us human beings who get my behalf incorrect or will mix me up in some Asiatic female in the office space. But how do you rectify yours behalf, while allows person it could conduct to death confusion. Toronto-based Simon Hewitt went for the straight attitude. I had a fellow urge me Steve for 5 year. One day I got in the lift and it was fair the two of us. She told, night Steve and I fair looked about. I later told, thou aware my behalf is Simon order. She looked dazed, laughed it off and got off at the following story. She proceeded to escape me following how. Bina Candela admits it's not an lightweight object to broaching. Human beings believe the calling question is obvious. If you complain about on it, human beings believe the issue is you, how you don't include a feeling of humor, you are seen as a firebrand. But he says while human beings sequentially get yours behalf incorrect, they are robbing you of a key portion of your sameness. How's them proverb to you how you don't question in my planet, and I can't though be concerned to offer you the focus to incantation yours behalf order. He says how organizations transactions in such a situations shows which the civilization of how organization is love. Human beings requirement to know the effect these issues include. Down there's information how as necessary to get location. With the paper was induced by an auto replacement mistake, I solved to get in concern in Dekan Hashamovich, an innovator on the Microsoft patent application for auto replacement, to see which he thinks on the technique easy manufacturer he initiated. He demystified auto replacement lightly. Auto replacement tends to honor capitalized speech. He wasn't certainly how to explanation the Dorito mixture up although, but did tell, I'm not certainly which down there is to do but apologize humbly, particularly if thou ve named who a Dorito. As for me, I'm fair thankful for the phonetics script. How's D for estuary, H for in, R for Romeo, U for form, T for tango, I for India.